when you hear of issues, talking about the issues of governance, we get our information, a lot of the information that we will get it through the media. You don't just react as soon as you hear of something going on. So long as that thing is not really undermining the peace of this country, you are okay with it. Okay. And in some cases, you will have to do serious investigation. Our elders say that, an elderly person will hear, but will sometimes have to behave like it's not heard. The white man says silence may be golden. Talking about everything. The Peace Council itself is made up of eminent members who have been drawn from different respectable institutions, religious institutions, the chieftaincy institutions, and other civil society institutions. So when issues come up, and there is the need for us to take action, for instance, we would sometimes meet and debate, reach a consensus. When we come up with a statement, that statement would have gone through a lot of discussions, and consensus would have been reached. Of course, there have been times when, as a chairman of the group, issues have come up and you have had to comment on that for the simple reason that your comment maybe will assuage, might help the nation, might help solve some of the problems that maybe the nation may be facing. But under normal circumstances, we will meet and discuss issues thoroughly. Some matters you don't have to comment on. It doesn't really belong to you to be commenting on everything that pertains to governance. For example, we are in a period of political campaigning. If a politician mounts a platform and is challenging the views of other people, there's nothing wrong with it. That is politics. And if you're a politician and you cannot stand that, then you do have a problem. On the other hand, if a politician mounts a platform and is attacking personalities and is not addressing political matters, in some cases it might be necessary to draw his attention to this. Or it might be necessary to come out, make a statement that please be very careful with the kinds of things that you say on a political platform. That's why sometimes you hear us, issuing statements and all that. Recently, for instance, in the Brahava region, Kuku, we read through the media and through the print and the electronic media of what has gone on there. The struggle, the violent clash between the two parties, NDC, NPP, which even led to a situation where somebody was slashed, and the Electoral Commission's office burnt, things destroyed. Wale Wale had a similar situation. NDC launching their manifesto, and in a culture like ours, a contest where, for instance, one of the political opponents has been described as old, and have even gone to the extent people rumoring that this person is sick, and then you find a coffin going to bury that person. It affects the cultural sensitivities of Ghanaians. And issues of this nature are early warning signals that the Peace Council would want to issue a statement and to try to tell the politicians and also public and the teeming supporters of the various political parties that, listen, let's be very careful the way we go about things, because this can generate, a kind of violent clashes that we may not like, may not be in the interest of our nation. So it's not everything that we as members of the Peace Council would want to do. Some issues are pure criminal issues. I mean, somebody has gone to destroy a ballot box. Why should the Peace Council issue a statement on that? The person has clearly violated the laws, electoral laws, and the person must be dealt with. What we would normally say to the police is, please be swift, but be professional in the way you go about your work. You know. So these are some of the things that we do. But there are a lot of things that we do that will not come to the public. For example, we have met with the political party leadership. We've met with NDC, we've met with MPP, we've met with CPP, we've met with all the other parties. And we wanted to find out from them what were their concerns, especially with the Electoral Commission, so that we might take up their issue. As I'm talking to you right now, we have booked appointment with the Electoral Commission. We're going to meet with the police, we're going to meet with the army, we're going to meet with other institutions, stakeholders, to try and draw attention to a number of things that we think ought to be done. These are not matters that you go public and say, hey, this is what we are doing. Peace work, the greater percentage of peace work is done covertly, not overtly. We were just before you came in here, we were discussing some of the things that took place during the 2012 election. A lot of people were lambasting us that we were not doing anything. We knew what we were doing. We had visited all the political parties, and when the very day that we needed to announce the elections, we had received signals that the NPP was not going to accept the results because they thought that it's been rigged, and there were others who were also saying the same thing. It was the National Peace Council that convened a meeting between the NDC, the NPP. Unfortunately, the CPP was represented by only one person at that meeting. The other smaller parties didn't really bother to come to the meeting. But we were at session with the commission. I chaired that meeting. In that meeting, eminent members of this country, Kofi Annan and others, phoned in even to talk to our politicians. These are not things that you would normally hear. Okay? All I heard was that in some FM, somebody who wasn't even there was saying that I have gone to say, go to court if you are not happy. I never even said that. I was in the chair. We were trying to convince the Electoral Commission to sit and try and see whether they can find a solution to the problem. And what the Electoral Commissioner said was, listen, as far as we are concerned, once we receive the results, we will announce. And a party that is not happy with it, he cited a particular constitutional provision that allows you to seek redress in court. When we came out, the press met us and we said we've tried our best. And in fact, we advised them. So you saw that even though that election, a party had won, they were mute in terms of celebrating and all that, because the Peace Council intervened in that matter to be very careful about not provoking people to do things that they shouldn't do. We also advised the vanquished not to see it as something that should give them occasion to destroy things and to create problems. With midnight, we were making phone calls when the NPP General Secretary announced that the next Sunday the people should go to church with their white calicos and all that. Do you know what was going to happen in this country? That announcement, that statement alone, gingered certain people to gather around it. Something was going to happen. In the night, a loving person who loved this country, belonging to the other side of the pool, I was sleeping, called me and said, hey, if you don't do something about this, and I had to gather a few people, rush to the press center, midnight. You saw me speaking to Ghanaians and pleading with Ghanaians. So these are some of the things that we do. We meet with the police, we meet with the army. 2012, for instance, the army took us to their own place, showed us on PowerPoint what arrangements they had, and the assurance was that they would not come. It's not their responsibility, it's the police. But if the worst comes worst, they would come, and we had to chat with them and all that. So when people talk the way they talk, they expect us to be a political party, but we are not a political party. The nature of the work that is being entrusted into our hands doesn't allow us to be, talking about talking about everything. We sometimes have to do it on the quiet. There are times when it becomes necessary to come public because naming and shaming could also be an aspect of it. But we were there.
So land disputes, chieftaincy are part of your responsibility.
If we think it is something that is going to create problems in an area, especially these galamsey issues, sometimes can spark off troubles that can be, if you like, exploited by a politician who is not, who wants to use that to his advantage. And so we have our people, they Agogo thing, what do you call the Fulani issue. It is as if, when they talk, they will mention what the Regional Peace Council has done. They've worked, they've done report, we have met with people. We keep on saying that issue would not be solved through Operation Cowlegs and all that. You need that. It's not true that. What we need to do is that so long as we continue to eat beef in this country, we will need to rear cattle. So the issue is ranching. Okay, we've talked about all these things. We need to find not this short, sharp, shock kind of treatments that we will give Operation Cowley. That won't solve the problem. But we need ranching. The ranching will also come with the establishment of a factory that will even work on the beef. Right? In the First Republic, Osagyefo did that. He had a vision for that. There was a ranch and there was this factory for all that. And we keep saying that not until we have been able to solve those problems, we're going to have the Fulani problems with us. We don't have people in our country here, Ghanaians, who are experts in rearing cattle. The Fulanis are the experts, and our people will buy cattle and bring them to do that. How do you confine them to a particular place without ranching? We've talked about all these things on the quiet, Talked about this, so the government said, "Oh, we are giving them a place." They've given us a place, but what is the place? It's behind the State House, an old rickety building that you cannot even use. So what we're doing, we got AEAS to draw a plan for us to put up a new building that we may call Peace Building. But it calls for money. The budget was submitted. We submitted the whole thing. As I'm talking to you right now, I don't know when something is going to come out. And yet that office there, heads of state and important personalities come to this country and they direct them to come there. Anytime somebody comes to meet us there, My prayer is that the person doesn't have to go to the washroom. Okay? Because there's nothing to write home about. Those who have been there. So, one, logistics is a big issue for us. Thanks be to God, the UNDP, the USAID come in to support. They provide some logistics, and they also provide funding for some programs that we put in place. Okay, but how can you build a peace council dependent on external support? That becomes an issue. Okay, what we're trying to do at the moment is that the act